Welcome to video 2, Identifying a Money Spot by Urban Forex. Alright, so in this video, what we're going to do is, now that you know from the previous video a little bit of the concept of the money spot, here what we're going to do is we're going to practice a little bit on how do you identify it. How do you know when that moment is? What are all the ups and downs around it? So let's take a look at that in an actual trade example. So this is the Euro USD. I just chose the 15-minute chart. This happens in any time frame, okay? In any time frame, this is relevant, okay? So in this particular case, let's take a look at this movement, and we can see the Euro USD is going down aggressively, and it's picked up momentum. We can even say it's broken the lows and everything of the previous day and Asia, etc., etc. And let's just assume the US dollar is strong. That's why it's going down. So you and I obviously want to say we want to be on the sell side, okay? Because the fundamentals are supporting it and the power is there. We want to be on the sell side. But we can't just sell here, right? If we sell here, where's our skill? There's no skill. We're just like everybody else. We're just chasing it. So we don't want to do that. We want to wait for the pullback to come in. Now, as the pullback starts to develop, okay, so this is now coming into Asia. Asia goes in, and here opens London. And London, right around, for me, it's 12 o'clock here in Dubai. So right here is when London opens, and London starts to take the price upwards. Now, remember one thing. As it goes upwards, our whole focus for us is not what the sellers are doing or what the buyers are doing. Our whole focus about is, if we want to get back onto the sell, we must digest everything, okay? Or the rubber band man who's going to the upside must get tired, okay? Whichever way you want to look at it. For this example, I'm going to use the language of digesting, okay? So in this case, the markets were going sideways. They did nothing. And then around 12 o'clock, okay, when London opens, the market started to go up, okay, which is good. When it goes sideways like this, it's very hard for us to determine, did people become buyers? Remember, in a strong movement down like this, people don't just become buyers out of nowhere. You need something to move first for then the public to join into becoming buyers. Now, the big boys are not doing this. They're not forcefully making you turn into buyers. It just happens that way, okay? It just happens that way. So what that means is, as the markets are going down and the big boys stop hitting the gas, the markets are free to move wherever they want. Having that said, as the buyers start kicking in, because there must be some huge SNR somewhere else, the mentality goes into, this must be a buy, okay? So right around here, no one is actually buying because the buying is not actually happening. Around here, the buys initiate and the public starts stepping in towards the top here, okay? They want to know for sure it's happening before they can get in, right? So around up there, they're like, oh my God, that's it. That's the buy. That's the buy. That's the buy. Now we want to do the sell. We're in a dilemma, because if this was Asia, this is the opening of Asia, London opened here, that means the high of Asia is here, the low of Asia is here, the power went to the north, and we're like, uh-oh, that's not good, right? We know we want to do the sell. The fundamentals say it's a sell, but the power went to the wrong side. What is going on? What is going on? So for us is stand by. We might not get a trade in London, but stand by. What is this trying to tell us? What does this mean? How long is this going to take? Is this original trade only going to return much later, but for now it's not? Or has the big boys given up on this idea? That's the whole thought process behind our minds. We will go a lot deeper into all of the stuff into the Iconic Trader program, where we discuss bigger trades, larger trades, and where we discuss about, okay, now we're going to act as the big boy himself rather than following the big boy down the line. Okay, so that's a little bit more advanced, but right now I want you to put the whole focus on, the power has gone to the wrong side. Okay, well, I still want to get onto the sell side. So what I want to do is I want to make sure the power comes back. Okay, the power comes back, which means I don't want it to keep going higher and higher and higher, because that will determine the current state of today's is, the euro is strong and the dollar is weak as per the power, and it's fighting the fundamentals. Fair enough. It's not a trade for us. We're going to step aside if it does that. However, for us, we have to stay on our toes that power went to the north. What does that mean? So we had the big meal going from here to here. Okay, huge meal from there to there. Then the market starts to pull back. Hasn't gone back inside Asia, the high of Asia and the low of it. Hasn't gone back inside there. But we can look at that as, wow, 80% of the last meal got digested. Great, fantastic, right? Then it starts to go up again, and it's unable to make a higher high. Fantastic. Is it gonna actually go and digest the whole meal? As it goes back down, right back to that area, he starts going sideways here. Okay, you see those few candles that were going sideways there? He starts holding this area. This area is your money spot. This is the area where the launch will happen. Okay, where the launch will happen. Now notice you're sitting right on top of the power area. Okay, you can identify this as the money spot, because this is the area where the average public will still look at this as an SNR to propel the buy from. They will keep hitting the buys off of this thing as an SNR or as a Fibonacci number. When they take from this area to this area, it'll look like a 50% retracement. They're going to hit all kinds of buys from this area. Those buys are going to be contracted by your sells, by a larger player sells, by this big boy's reselling. Okay? And that will create the money spot. Okay? That is your final range before the takeoff. Okay? Once that moment happens, the trade will start moving away from that area. So this is the best price you can get. If you are seeing yourself in a habit of, it's just a big meal right there. Look at that. It's digested a lot of it. Sell. Please don't do that. Okay? I want you to get into the habit of digest first as much as you can, and then look for the money spot. Okay? You follow this rhythm. Digest first, look for the money spot. Digest first, look for the money spot. Okay? Which is your final range before the takeoff. All right, so let's maybe scroll back a little bit, see if I can find you another example. Okay, here we have one more. Markets are headed downwards. Similar downtrend example. Okay, markets are headed downwards. They're doing quite well. Asia opens, low of Asia, high of Asia, and around 12 o'clock. Oh, sorry, that would be high of Asia right there, because 12 o'clock is here. So let me get rid of this. So that's the high and low of Asia. Okay, I'll put a box around it. There you go. Okay. So high of low of Asia, London opens, and what London does is instantly starts digesting this last upward meal. London opens, he comes down, it's like, whoa, 100% digested slowly, but 100% digested very quickly. Okay. All right. Maybe he had Pepto-Bismol or something. Those. And for Indian people, he had some Hajmola or something. Right. So he's digested his food quite quickly. Right. So he's turned back around very, very quickly, and after that, the buys cannot perform. Okay. They're unable to make a higher high, because the reason why I'm always looking for that one extra, okay, I give you a chance, go again, is because people from here will look at this as, that's an SNR, I want to hit the buy. But remember, I only look for the buyers once I see some reason for the buyers to come in. This is not a reason for the buyers to come in. This right here is not a reason for the buyers to come in. Okay, look at that. It's barely crossing anything. I want to see people panicking out of the cells and saying, oh my goodness, it's a buy. Okay? I apologize. Sometimes I say, oh my God, and stuff like that. I know it rubs people the wrong way. That is not my intention. So I'm going to try to use a word like, oh my goodness. Okay, so in this particular case, no one has panicked yet. But around here, yeah, the panic has started. Okay, people are going to dump the sells and switch to the buys because they can't help themselves. There's less patience, right? So as they hit the buys, they look at all these areas as support equals resistance, miniature supply demand, right? They're going to hit all these areas with their buys. 61.8 Fibonacci retracements, all kinds of stuff. So that buy gets battled with your sells. Okay, I am going to start using the word as your sells now because you should be getting a lot better at your trading by this stage. Okay, your trading should be 10x a lot better than where you were 7 weeks ago. Okay? All right. And from the feedbacks I'm getting from you guys and the statements I'm seeing, you guys are doing fantastic. I'm really happy to see that. Very, very happy to see it. All right. So that is the final stage, which is called the money spot. And that's when the propelling begins. Okay. So that is where your entry needs to come in. Okay. So not just at the digestion part, because that could be a temporary digestion. Because the markets can still go. Here is an inverse digestion example. So the markets are going down very aggressively. They go up to digest partially. Okay, now go down. Let me see what you can do. They go down, unable to make a lower low. Huh, interesting. Then they digest a little bit more. Okay, but then they keep going. So it's not digested. We cannot end up going to the north. See, so you have to allow it some time for it to be properly digested. If it did this, he went up, unable to make a lower low. Okay, so it's partially digested, unable to make a lower low, and we're like, okay, good, show me more, show me more. And then it goes higher, digest a little bit more, and then from that money spot, if he cannot go down and he starts ranging, for you and me, it's like, aha! Now we take action. But remember, a range takes time to build. Okay, so do not just enter really quickly in anticipation that, okay, this is it, this is it. Slow it down. Make this a game that you want to get the highest score. Be very calm, very patient. Be like a tiger inside the grass, waiting for the right moment. Okay? Waiting for the right moment. And any too soon, and everything runs away, and you'll be at a loss, you'll be hungry, and that's not good, right? Too late, and it's also not good, right? So you want to time this moment very, very accurately. So the money spot is your trigger alarm saying, prepare to get in. Okay? So all those questions about, hey Naveen, when should I be entering my trades? Now you know everything leading up to that money spot is like, that's the moment I gotta prepare for. Okay? Let's move on to the next video.